Welcome to today's show. This one's going to be a little bit of a quicker one because it's something that I keep seeing coming up with my clients and, frankly, people that I just talk to throughout my day. And this is about something that is really, really stealing your energy and how you can shift from this one thing into a state that's going to help you to create more energy. Now, this one thing I'm going to tell you about, I'm going to start off with telling you a story. So, back in 2015, I had just barely gotten diagnosed with kidney disease, stage 4 kidney disease, and I had lots more questions that I had answers. I did know that I had this diagnosis. I didn't know exactly why, and my brain was going crazy trying to figure out why I went from perfectly healthy a year and a half prior to qualifying for the transplant list. And along with trying to figure out why this had happened, I also was in this mindset of, it must have been this thing that I did. It must have been this place that I went. It must have been this time that I was sick. If I just wouldn't have done this, if I wouldn't have done that, then I wouldn't have to deal with this kidney problems. And this is the thing that I see so many people doing. And you might be doing it too. It is arguing with your past. Arguing with the past decisions that you've made, the past choices that you've made. And we've talked a lot about nervous system regulation on the podcast. When you are going into fix-it mode, when you are trying to change something that's unalterable, it puts you in that fight or flight mode. And it doesn't give you any options to be able to come back to that rest and repair, rest and digest. And I just heard today, maybe for the first time, maybe I've heard it before, the tend and befriend state. When you are constantly rehashing the past and telling yourself that if you had just done things differently, that is so stealing your energy today. And why is that? Because you can't change the past. Those decisions that you made in the past are now facts. And one of my favorite coaches, Michelle Fournier, she always says, whatever choice you made at that time in your past, you made from the level of awareness that you were at in that moment. And even if you were to go back, you would still make the same choice because that's the level of awareness that you had at that moment. That's all the facts, all the information that you had. So beating yourself up about it and trying to argue about all of the things that you could have done differently or should have done differently is what is keeping you stuck. Your brain thinks that it's protecting you because if it can figure out what happened in the first place and how to avoid that, then then it'll stop and it'll change. But that's not what happens, because when you are judging yourself for the past, you're creating a state of guilt or shame for yourself, and your actions that you take from that energetic state are never going to create a new result for you. I was just giving this example to a client today. When you go to eat something, and for me, I've lost 20 pounds in the past year and kept it off, and I used to go, and when I was having a big emotion that I didn't know what to do with, I would find something to eat. And so I would eat these potato chips. It was one of my favorite things. I love salty things. I'm not so much into the sweets. I like the salt. So anyway, I would eat potato chips, and every time I would tell myself, this is the last one. This is the last one. I did that like 30 times. It never was the last one because I was thinking, this is the last one. I'm not going to, you have to stop. This is terrible that you keep eating this. Stop doing this. I was arguing with what was happening, and I was bringing myself to a state of guilt and shame. And that guilt just kept me eating more chips. It wasn't until I was making peace with the present moment that I stopped that habit. In fact, I started to tell myself when I would go to eat something, and then I found myself eating past when I was hungry, I would, instead of saying, no, this is the last chip, this is the last whatever, pretzel, whatever it is, this is the last bowl of ice cream, I would tell myself, I'm eating a chip. And I wouldn't tell myself to stop. I would just say, I'm eating a chip. And eventually I would notice I don't even want to be eating chips. And then I would put it back and be done eating it because I was coming from a place of acceptance. The same thing happens to you with your past. When you are able to accept and love that version of you who made those decisions in the past, she was trying to do what she could to protect you. Maybe it wasn't the most effective way in the long run, but your brain, your body, she's always looking out for you. So here's what I'm going to invite you to do today instead. You can decide consciously what energy, what influence you want to create in your environment today. You've been creating out of habit, out of unintentionality, just unintentionally. Just like, oh, I just noticed I feel resentful. You've been creating that, especially if you've been arguing with your past. And when you are arguing with your past, it is degrading your relationship with yourself. So, what is it that you consciously want to create in your everyday? What are the emotions that you want to feel? Emotions are energy in motion. What is the emotion that would serve you best? For me, some of those emotions that I love feeling satisfied. I love the emotion of contentment. I love the emotion of peace. People think that peace is like, I won't do anything. Peace is a very beautifully aligned emotion that gets a lot done because it keeps you in that flow energy state where all of the possibilities are there. We're not trying to get rid of the part of you that fears. We're trying to make it so that you recognize how much power you really have in any moment, any situation, and how many choices you have available to you. When you are understanding of all of the possibilities, all of the choices, you will get your energy back. We feel energy loss when you think that there's no hope and there's no way out and things are going to stay the way that they always are. There's no change possible. And whatever's happened is the worst thing. Brain gets pretty dramatic about things. But the truth is that you always have so many choices. And when you are able to decide on purpose what you consciously create and to create safety in your body through somatic practices, it's what I do in my coaching sessions with my clients. When you create that safety in your body to see all of the choices, that's when real change happens, and that's when you get your energy back. All right. I hope that you have an amazing rest of your day. And if you are looking for a way to get your energy back, I invite you to book your fatigue recovery call today. And I will talk to you personally about how you can consciously create energy in your life today. All right. Have a great week. Bye-bye.